Hey guys, and welcome to this week's studio show. On today's show, I'll be reviewing the Italian Grand Prix at Monza. I also spoke to the managing director at Mercedes-AMG High Performance Powertrain about the team's new engine and why Nico'S failed. It's going to be an action-packed show. Let's go. What a weekend! The team was back in full force for the final European Grand Prix of the season, and boy did we leave the continent with a bang. Although things went great for race winner Lewis Hamilton, an unexpected engine failure in lap 51 meant Nico was unable to finish the race. What caused the engine failure? I'll have the answer for you later in the show. But on the other side of the garage, Lewis's win means he's now leading the championship by 53 points. And he also secured the second Grand Slam of his career. And in case you don't know, to get a Grand Slam, an F1 driver has to get pole position in qualifying, set the fastest lap of the race, and win while leading every lap. Check out what Lewis has to say about his race.
It was an amazing weekend. It's crazy. I don't know how people feel when they tune in, but it's a long year. To stay on point all year long, to not make mistakes, because you can arrive one weekend, you can get out of bed the wrong side of the bed and easily make mistakes. But there's so much pressure, obviously, to not do that. And I think both from my mechanics, my engineers, all of us. So when we come out from a weekend like that, it's so rewarding. You can't even imagine. It's amazing. And to see all the fans there, to be able to share it with everyone, and me personally, internally, for me, inside, to be able to perform the way I did and really execute it the way that I dreamed to execute it and set out to is not always the way you're able to do it. And so, yeah, I'm definitely super happy with yesterday. And so today I'm just at peace. I don't need to celebrate, I don't need to party. I might have a pizza because I feel like I earned it or something like that. But yeah, I'm super grateful for all the effort that my team put in to be able to give me this car. This is a car that every driver dreams of having, and who would have thought a couple years ago, or 3 years ago, when I chose to come to this team, I'd really honestly believed that I would sacrifice of what I thought a car that would win in 2013 at McLaren, because the 2012 car was so good, it should have been an Evolution. I'm not quite sure how they got it wrong, but and then think instead of for the short term, think about the long term, and think at some stage I'll win with this team and move, and then it happened so much quicker than I planned, and even in an even much better way than ever before. It makes me really proud. I remember all the people that said it's the worst decision you could ever make and all these things, and now they're just eating their words. But most likely they'll just yeah, I knew all the people that said it was the worst decision, I'm certain now, I knew it would be the right one. I told you it was going to be the right decision. Pretty much 95% of the people that did said that or say that today. So, but anyways, I'm just rambling on. But yeah, I just wanted to say a big thank you to everyone for all the support, the messages that I get. And I hope that you continue just sending that positive energy, because it means the world to me.
The European season is over, but how well did we actually do? Well, the team won in Spain, Monaco, Austria, the UK, Belgium and Monza. Whoa! Okay, our favourite silver arrows have been doing pretty well across the past few races. Good job, team. The team brought a shiny new engine to the Italian Grand Prix, and although Lewis's helped him speed to victory, Nico'S failed in Friday's practice. So what happened? I went straight to the source and spoke to Andy Cowell, the managing director at Mercedes-AMG High Performance Powertrains, which is where all the Mercedes engines are built. Check it out. Could you tell us a little bit about the new engine introduced at Monza?
Yeah, it was our Phase 4 engine, and we ended up with the opportunity to do some performance development in season, which is the first time for many years. We only learnt about this on the 24th of December last year, and so initially we didn't react to it. We just focused on getting the new power unit to Melbourne at the start of this season, and then we started doing some development in the factory that was aimed for 2016, and thought, wouldn't it be great if we could pull it forward? You know, if we here in the factory and with all our suppliers and with Petronas, one of our key suppliers on fuel and oil, if we could do that development work and bring it forward and get some track experience this year. So the whole team of people worked exceptionally hard. You know, tough time pressure, lots of technical challenges, and we managed to get it to Monza to run in both cars, which was you know, great success for the whole team. Friday was a learning day, really. So free practice 1, free practice 2, we tried different calibrations, different tests on the circuit, whilst also still trying to focus on car setup. And that went pretty well. We were pleased with the way it had gone. Free practice 3 on Saturday morning, we thought had gone well. Until when we pulled Nico's car back into the garage and we discovered a problem on the engine systems. And so we had 10 minutes to decide what to do ahead of qualifying. It's one of the tightest gaps between a session finishing and the next one starting, and something as critical as qualifying. So we had 10 minutes to decide, what do we do? Do we try and repair that power unit? Do we fit the same specification, because we just had a spare engine turn up at the circuit? So do we fit the same specification, or do we roll back? And do we roll back to the engine he used in Spa, or that specification, but a new one? And we looked at the life that had been put on the Spa engine and decided that that was capable of doing qualifying and the race distance, and that would be the safest thing to do. Fitting another power unit of the new specification we thought was too risky. When we you know, when we rolled the car in the garage and we looked at it, we all jumped to the conclusion that it's the new area of the car, it's the new phase 4 that's caused the problem, and I think we all naturally do that. The cars had very good reliability this year, so when you put something new and something as major as a new power unit in there, we all naturally jumped to that conclusion. As we looked at the data a little bit more, we were 50-50. Is it the power unit? So is it cooling systems, which are common for the whole of this season? And then with more analysis, we realised that it was the cooling system, which you know, as I say, is what we've used ever since Melbourne this year. So it could have happened on a previous spec phase 3 engine. It could have happened on that engine. We jumped to the conclusion that it was the engine, the new part, which we learnt later on it wasn't.
And then, of course, there was Nico's dramatic engine failure in lap 51 of the actual race. What was the cause of this?
Well, we went into the race, hoping that Nico could get past the Ferraris, hoping that he could go chasing Lewis and have a tough fight with Lewis. That's what we were looking for. That's what we endeavoured to do, to have a Mercedes 1-2. So the whole strategy was based around that. Kimi's delayed start, really wasn't it? It wasn't a bad start, it was a delayed start. Made it very hard for Nico to safely get away and push hard down to turn 1. And so he'd got the Williams in front of him. Managed to quite easily get past both of those at the first pit stop and then go chasing after Sebastian. And we could see that he was closing him down. Using his tyres better, driving exceptionally well. And so we were giving him everything that we'd worked out to give him on the engine. And then with a few laps to go, we could see that he was getting closer and closer. And we go out for 1-2s. That's what we're trying to do. And so the joint decision was made that we could turn the engine up a little bit more. It was going further than we'd been before in terms of that performance level on that engine. But we thought, yeah, it's a calculated risk. Let's go for it. Nico's comments were that as we switched him into that mode, it felt like he'd got an extra 100 horsepower. But unfortunately, it didn't last the 3 laps that it needed to. It only made half of that distance. The engine's here in the factory. It's been stripped. We'll try and salvage as many of the ancillary bits of the MG UK that will come back and fight another day. See if we can get the turbo to come back and fight another day. It doesn't look like the internal combustion engine will come back and fight another day. I think that one's probably up for retirement now. served Nico well up to that point. It's racing, you push hard, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't.
Singapore is up next on the calendar. It's only 10 days away and the team is already getting ready to go. That's it for this week's studio show. I'll be back next week with my preview for the Singapore Grand Prix. If there's something you want to see on the channel, why not leave a comment? And don't forget to subscribe for more videos. See you next week. Cheers.